Yeah. What's up, everybody? Hope you had a fantastic New Year's and all of that. Let me share this real quick. Share this real quick. For the Braves, it's been a lot of rumors and no action again so far. We did sign second baseman Eddie Alvarez to a minor league deal, just more depth for spring training at the very least. There's been a lot of talk. We've been in on heavy relievers, high leverage relievers, Tanner Scott, Carlos Estevez. I hope AJ Minter, but he's been talked to by Boston several times. So we'll see there. But I feel like you need a high leverage with Joe Jimenez possibly out, more than likely out for 2025 with his knee issue. Raisel Iglesias out with, or after this year, free agency. Justin Verlander just signed with the Giants. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. A 1-year deal. Good for him. But they've been fabulous with pitching, and people say 3-2-1. What are the Braves doing? And I can't answer that question, but I mean, some people are acting like they're not going to watch the Braves if we don't make a move or something. And maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but I think it's just somewhat overblown. Yes, do I want to improve? Yes, do we need to improve with Charlie Morton in Baltimore now with the 1-year $15 million, which I think is a really good deal for him and Baltimore, and 340 innings walked out the door so far this offseason. So I think we definitely need to add something in the rotation, no doubt, but I'm not going to freak out until February, maybe March. It is what it is. Justin Verlander to the Giants is weird, but it's a 1-year deal. I'm sure it's not that big of a, I mean, it might be 10 to 15 like Charlie, just because that's the market. Although Michael Lorenzen got 1 year 7, so maybe it's starting to correct itself a little bit. So we'll see. But I think the Braves are still a good team. Do they need to improve? Yes, obviously, but trying to figure out where and how is a moot point at this point. I think being interested in high leverage relievers is interesting. because we're willing to do a 4-year, $50 million deal with Will Smith a few years ago. So that could be in the cards. Tanner Scott's looking for 20 per year, which I think is a ton for a reliever. But he's amazing, and his StatCast page proves it, so I would absolutely love that addition because the depth needs to be there. Only having 2 left-handed relievers is kind of weird. We've had 3 to 4 the last couple of years, and with the left-handed stalwarts in the NL East, you need it. So I hope we have some sort of plan, but I think at this point we all need a crystal ball to figure it out. Spencer Strider may be ready quicker than we all anticipated, at least facing hitters in spring training, so that might be a little bit of the hesitancy in terms of the starting pitching market. I don't know. That is from Ken Rosenthal himself, but again, we're all just kind of speculating at this point. But you know what? I'm still gonna watch the Braves no matter what. Is it annoying to kind of just speculate and make things up? Yeah, for sure. But I also think there's a bit too much of overreaction, that we still got a bunch of really good players, and I think I worry more about the clubhouse and different things and how that will work out for sure. Just because it's definitely different, and it's definitely a changing of the guard with no Travis, no Max, no Charlie. I think it's interesting yet intriguing, and you know how much Alex Anthopoulos cares about culture and clubhouse, so and he's aware of every move that's been made. And we don't know, once again, what contracts we've offered, what guys we've been in contact with, that stuff, so to speak. So I have a hard time because it has to be right. So it has to be right for everybody, and that's especially the money that's been thrown around this offseason. You've got to be really sure about it. So Brent Rooker signing a 5-year, $60 million extension with the A's. I really like what the A's have done this offseason, and it could go to $690 with incentives and stuff. But I really like the fact that, yes, it took them getting out of Oakland maybe, but giving fans something exciting to think about and watch. And Brent Rooker, you need cornerstones, and I think they've done a really nice job of that, for sure. So that was big news last night. Again, the Luis Ariz trade scuttlebutt in different ways. Like I said last night, I love the Gavin Lux move just to get out of LA. I don't know that it makes necessary sense again with Cincinnati, but they like his versatility, and he can play the outfield too. And that's a good thing because they have a million infielders. That really doesn't necessarily make sense in that regard, but he's a good ball player and getting more of a chance on an everyday basis might really help springboard him, because that injury kind of really wrecked him in spring training and wrecked the progress and all of that jazz. So I really like that. But I think that the Braves still have one of the more underrated bullpens on paper in baseball, even without any moves. So I think everything's still in a good spot. I think it's obviously a very still unclear picture. Hey Hudson, thanks for showing up. Nobody else did, so I've been kind of talking to myself. But Verlander just signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco Giants. So that's weird, but everybody was thinking that the Braves were in on Verlander, and that might have been the case, but I don't know. The money there, it's definitely a changing of the guard type of offseason. I think that's the only thing I got right so far in this offseason, is that it looks a little different. It's still a very, very cloudy picture of what we're going to do and if we're going to do anything. No, there is not. So, I mean, but yeah, we need to add a starting pitcher, probably with 340 innings coming off the ledger. But apparently Spencer Strider might be coming back quicker than we thought, so that might be a little bit of the hesitancy in the starting pitching market, plus the prices. But I think we still have a really good team, and I just don't like the fact that even though it might be this case for some, that they're acting like they're not going to watch the Braves if we don't make a move. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the trade avenue is probably the most likely avenue for us, because I think there are still 6 or 7 guys without options on our roster, so I just have a weird feeling in that regard that it will be. I mean, Gavin Lux got traded to the Reds last night. Not that they really need another infielder, but his versatility playing the outfield. The A's having a really sneaky good offseason for them. I appreciate that. Brent Rooker getting the extension. That kind of 5 years. Yeah, Lux would have been nice. I don't understand what the Mariners are doing, or the Blue Jays, or the Cardinals for that matter. So there's a lot of teams that I don't know what's going on, and at least we have a lot of cornerstones and a solid foundation. Even though I don't know what we're doing either, I think it's easier knowing that we have a lot of our guys locked up. But I really wouldn't hate a crystal ball for sure, because Alex Anthopoulos is usually a lot quicker and a lot more fast in his moves, and he has not been lately. So the quietest offseason to make up and speculate content that it's not my strongest of suits, but doing my best. So yeah, Arenado rejected a trade to the Astros. It really didn't. I don't know why he would reject a trade to the Astros, to be honest, but he did. But he makes no sense. The Cardinals make no sense. It's very weird. But yeah, to the Astros, he rejected. There was a speculation that his last ditch effort to get traded this offseason would be Boston, which that doesn't make any sense to me either, unless they transition Arenado to first base. AJ Minter has been talked about with the Boston Red Sox. I think losing AJ Minter would be really annoying, especially if we don't get a guy like Tanner Scott or something to replace that, because Alex Anthopoulos has shown that he really likes a 1-2 punch at the back end of the bullpen. So, but I mean, yeah, this offseason's been super weird and super crickety. And everybody's freaking out and acting like they're never going to watch the Braves again if we don't make a move, which I don't know if that's true, but it's definitely not true for me. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot going on right now. I mean, you're right. The trade market is really slow. Alex Bregman still hasn't signed. Pete Alonso is wanting $214 million, and that's not going to likely happen, I guess. And I don't know why people keep letting Scott Boras kind of control things. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, there's still a ton of free agents out there, so I'm not going to sit here and rant about it yet, but I'll rant about it in February and March if I need to. Because then we'll have a clearer picture of what we're actually doing, because honestly, we don't know what contracts we've offered, what new move we tried to make and all that stuff, so I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Yes, it's frustrating on a myriad of levels, but I mean, I get it. I get the frustration so much, but there's nothing we can do about it. And that's me being painfully obvious. But I don't know. It's not. I mean, the Mariners haven't done anything. The Orioles done a couple of things, but I thought they would be a little bit more active. The Blue Jays make no sense. So we're in a lot better spot than a lot of other teams, so I'll just take it that way, I guess, and just try to stay positive about it, and just see where the chips may land, and then after that, you might get a rant from me. But before then, I'm just gonna watch it play out and see what happens. mean, there's only 5 people from the 2021 roster that are still on our team, so we're active in the international market. We're predicted to sign this kid that throws 102 miles an hour, and the international market starts January 16th and stuff, so there's an avenue there as well. Nothing splashy, but so it is weird though. The A's are actually spending money, and a lot of teams that we thought would haven't yet, so that's kind of strange. But you still got Jeff Hoffman, you've still got Tanner Scott, you've still got Ha-Seong Kim, not the one the Dodgers signed. Tanner Scott would be perfect for that, and I really wanted to pull the trigger on that one, and I hope we still do, because that would be a perfect. That just feels like a perfect match. It really does. Estevez, yes. Hoffman's interesting to me. I think so. There's still options. Plus, there's still stuff in the trade market. Like you said, Ha-Seong Kim would be amazing. I'm surprised he hasn't signed anywhere. Not the one the Dodgers signed for 3 years and $12.5 million. Not that one, but the Padres one. The Padres are kind of in a weird spot where they have so many weird bad contracts that they're trying to get rid of Luis Ariz, but he doesn't give you much value other than his strike zone awareness and hitting ability, but the rest of it's kind of so they can't really find anything there. So, I think there's still a lot of avenues to be explored. Like I said, there's 7. Yeah, everybody thought it was the MLB Kim, but I think this Kim, I think he's just gonna be a utility guy. Yeah, I think he might just be a utility guy, but they traded Gavin Lux right after, so he might be a little more than that. I don't know. I don't know. The Dodgers keep buying everybody, so and it's weird to me because there's only 26 roster spots. But like I said, there's a lot of avenue. Maybe I don't know, Randall Grichuk or a Jurickson Profar maybe for the Braves. If you're talking about a right-handed platoon guy with Kelnick, maybe. I don't know. Again, me speculating, it's one of my least favorite things, but kind of have to at this point. I don't know. Camilo Duval, maybe. I bantied him a couple of weeks ago, and I think he was available in trade, so maybe. But like you said, it hasn't really. The trade market hasn't really materialized necessarily. Maybe a Luis Castillo, but that would probably cost a little too much, maybe, from the Mariners. But I don't really understand the Mariners' direction, so I don't know if that would work either. But he'll probably come up. Alex Anthopoulos, if he's gonna do anything, he'll probably do like 4 things in like a span of 2 hours or something, and we'll be all crazy about it. If it's gonna happen, so we'll see. but they keep getting me with a happy birthday post on. Yeah, I know, but Kershaw should have just retired a couple of years ago, in my opinion. But hey, at this point, if we were in on Verlander, and they did say Saki did meet with a mystery team, so I don't know, maybe we're the mystery team. I just really need that crystal ball. I do. Because everybody was saying things were gonna happen like last week, and then nothing happened, and then so it's like the anticipation, and then whatever. So now it's just like, oh, give me something. It's the most interesting. It's the most interesting, weird off season I've ever been a part of, and maybe it's just because as a doing it as a content creator, um, it puts everything into a different perspective. But yeah, you're right. A crystal ball wouldn't do anything. People would still be like, I hate it. But it's okay. It would help my anticipation. It would definitely help my anticipation of whatever happens. But I would love to be a fly in the wall because Alex Anthopoulos does turn over every rock. Even if it doesn't work out or whatever the case may be, he does. You saw what he did last year, holding us together with tape, glue, gum, and whatever else. And I'm actually really glad that Brian Snicker is going to be the manager this year. Just so, because it is a change in the guard and there's so many guys leaving the clubhouse and different things. Brian Snicker is the perfect guy for that. And we're still projected to be good. And yes, love to improve, obviously, but I think it's perfect given you're just gonna have a lot of people, just because it's gonna be different, but the stabilizing force of Brian Snicker is gonna help. I think regardless of what people think of Brian Snicker's moves once he gets a roster, blah 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 blah. But I really do think we have a pretty underrated bullpen still. So I mean, the biggest questions is what's Kelnick going to be in his second year, and usually you're more comfortable in your second year with team, things like that. I mean, so projecting that stuff versus the moves or the non-moves, whatever the case, it's a delicate balancing act that I'm really glad I don't have to do. But next off season, Um, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, Chipper said that you're not going to be able to get like a lot of $100 million contracts here. It's just not possible given the market and how our ownership goes. It's just, and people want to play here, but you want that extra bag, and I don't disagree with that at all either. So, and they deserve it. So it is really hard to judge, and it's really hard to not be jealous of the splashy moves, but also too many splashy moves. You don't have a lot of chemistry, aka the Padres last couple seasons. Like, and having one star versus multiple stars and some glue guys. How do you, which one is better? That type of thing. It's, and we're not the Dodgers, we're not the Yankees, we're not the high priced markets where we can just be a money tree and hand things out. It would be amazing because we have all the other elements, but you really have to want to be a Brave. So, and it's hard when other teams are throwing money at you. I know that, and everybody knows that, but it is what it is. Um, I was surprised Walker Bueller. I thought that would have been a perfect contract for us, but again, he might have said no. So going to Boston for 122, I think it was. So Verlander got 115. I feel like almost everybody's getting at least 115. Morton did. Alex Verdugo wouldn't make sense. He's basically a kind of a Kelnick too. I bet the Braves admin people are just so annoyed by this offseason, and then they have to keep putting up the birthday post, happy birthday everybody. So it's like everybody gets excited, and then it's just that, and you're like, ugh. And then like adding the Braves, like that's gonna change how we off season. It's probably like the most annoying thing ever. And I mean, we're getting the All-Star game this year, so there's that as well. I think that's what another factor, and maybe that nothing's happening, so the excitement's down and all that stuff. But I feel like Alex Anthopoulos is gonna do something really random off the top rope, and everybody's gonna be fine. But who knows at this point? Like, yeah, the All-Star game is gonna be fun. It's an amazing ballpark, amazing atmosphere. Like, maybe Anthony Santander will wait so long he'll take a 1 to 2 year deal or something. That could be a thing. But yeah, the All-Star game, the home run derby, they need to fix the home run derby thing again because everybody gets so tired now. It's weird. The timer was good, but then they get so tired it doesn't work. So um I also would not be surprised by that at all. If that stuff happened, then Alex Anthopoulos is a pure genius. And then I'll never question or say anything bad. Neither, not that I would anyway, but God, if that was magically gonna happen, wow. I should screenshot that and like if it starts happening, then I'll screenshot it back to you and be like, you were the crystal ball. Uh, hey Charles. Um, yeah, seriously, that's way too ballsy. But hey, yeah, I would never question anything ever again as a sportsman if that were to happen. But I would substitute Waldrop for AJ Smith-Jobber. Besides, I don't know how the technically the process works and all that stuff, so I can't even like really. You can be mad about it, but the reality is the reality. Yeah, exactly. We are. So, but I just really think if no, we're not being penny pinchers. We just everything's got to be perfect. I mean, maybe we are. I don't know, but we still have a solid team. So it is what it is. Like I said many a times in this conversation alone, I'll I'll have more problem with it February, March if it's still the same, but there's still quality out there. And trade market trades could happen. And you still got you got those rando guys in the minor leagues that could become Spencer Schwellenbach 2025 version. And you still got the international market. Well, that stinks. Charles, that's not fun, but so I mean, there's different ways to yeah, exactly. So I agree, but I just don't know. Yeah, feel better. I don't know what the second like if we gave Tanner Scott 460 right now, I'd be really, really happy. He's been talking with Boston several times, so I don't know. AJ Minter, I love him so much, but he's like a really Jekyll and Hyde type of guy to watch pitch for sure. Like postseason AJ Minter is on a different level, but like regular season, don't know what you're gonna get. And I don't know if that's another one where it's time. I love AJ Minter, so if he comes back, great. But so I mean, I don't know. I mean, Chris Martin got 1.5 from the Rangers. I think they've had a really good offseason. An interesting one for sure, but a good one. So, I mean, trying to predict this offseason is ridiculous. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Spencer Schwellenbach's extension, maybe a small Iggy extension. Like I don't even know what even is viable at this point. Because the deals that you feel have Braves written all over it, the Walker Buehler, the Michael Lorenzen, the Max Kepler, we didn't do, and obviously there's a reason we didn't do them, but trying to figure it out, it's like a bad calculus problem. I thought Chris Sale's already on an extension, isn't he? Yeah, we have him under contract, under club control until 2026, so we're good. Charles there. So, and for the record, Marcell Ozuna looks thin and fit, and Ronald Acuna Jr.'s upper body looks massive. So I wouldn't put it past him to have like 50 homers this season. I know he's not coming back right away, but I feel like it's going to be a really good season, and Marcell Ozuna looks like he's prepping for that as well. I would say the way Marcell Ozuna looks right now, 45 isn't out of the question. So, I think, yeah, Eli White is with us. He will probably be either the fourth outfielder bench piece or the stowaway in AAA. He's already under extension for 2026, so I don't think we need to, because he's 35. I don't know how long. Oops. But yeah, I guess that's definitely a possibility. But it's probably going to be a name or a player that none of us are thinking of. Uh, from what I could gather and all the stuff that I read, he wants us to be a little bit more diversified. In terms of not relying on the homer so much. But I don't know the exact message. But that was just the impression I got. No, Kelnick's already under control for 4 more years. There's no need to do that. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. Given I think that this is like a make or break year for Kelnick in terms of what his role is going to be. I think Kelnick is probably the biggest X factor right now. So. So, yeah, we signed him to a 2-year deal after so he's here through 2026. The 2026 is a player option, so yeah, we already signed him to an extension. Yeah, so Chris Sale is, I mean, it depends on what he wants and what the team wants, but I think we'll let that one go. Probably, most likely, yeah. For Brian Snicker, I think it's most likely, or I'll play year by year, but I would think the latest, probably 2027. Which, it's good for him. I want him to. I want him to be able to. I want him to be able to go out on his own terms and do what he wants to do, because Brian Snicker has been amazing and the reason like the Hurricane or the Braves are what the Braves are. So, and that despite what people tell you online, 7 straight postseason appearances, 1 World Series. That was the consensus for me for a while, but maybe that's changed now. I don't know. But yeah, it seems the easiest of transitions, but I don't know. Maybe we'll go a different direction, but likely, yeah, Walt Weiss seems. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty much been writing on the wall for a while for Walt Weiss, I feel like. So I mean, Yeah. So like I said, a lot of changing of the guard. I don't know where Terry is now. I think he's working in our organization in some capacity. Yeah, totally agree. I actually thought that Wash might have taken over. No, TP's not with Wash. That's Eric Young. TP's still in our organization, I think. Eric Young Sr. is with Wash, I think. But like I said, I don't know how I got an hour out of not a lot to talk about, but thanks, guys, for sure. I can check. Um, yeah, he's still a coach with us. It says. Yeah, I'm not sure what either. Um, but hopefully, next Tuesday there'll be more to talk about. Uh, but yeah, I've got nothing else. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. Hopefully next week there'll be a lot more Braves related talk of positivity and new faces and all that. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.